Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Center, Baba Center of Arcadia. And now we are going to do the study circle on Gita Vahini, on Bhagavad Gita, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and Swami has, as Sai Krishna, give a beautiful commentary on that. And we'll finish the study circle a little early today, so probably we want to give some time for the program, for those Buddha Purnima program we have. So we'll briefly talk about it. So we'll try to finish a little early. So whenever we do anything, so we should know the meaning. So we always chant Om. Sometimes we don't take it granted. Om mechanically and ritualistically we chant Om. But what is this Om? Because the whole Upanishad is, which Upanishad? Mandukya Upanishad. Mundaka is different. That's Paravidya. Mandukya Upanishad, the whole thing, that's shortest Upanishad, but it's the biggest commentary by Gaudapada, the guru of Govindapada, who wrote Mandukya Karika. So what is really the significance of Omkara? So that is why Pranava is considered a Taraka mantra. Taraka mantra, just by chanting Om, you will be liberated. That is why in this chapter 8, Akshara Parabrahma Yoga, Lord Krishna says the importance of Om. That is why Om Ityeka Aksharam Brahma. Om by letter, by itself, it is equivalent to Brahman. This includes all names and forms of gods and beyond. That is the power of Om. And it is common for all people, whether you are a Vaishnavite, Shaivite, Shaktite, or any believe in God, form with God or not, that is the most powerful mantra. So I am not going to go into detail. We wrote a beautiful explanation about from various sources. So please go into detail what is Om. And similarly, we repeat Gayatri mantra. What is the significance of Gayatri? So instead of mechanically chanting, the more you know the meaning, we get the benefit. That is why great singer Tyagaraja said, Telisi Rama Chintana Chai. That's whenever you do, think about Rama, know the meaning, understand, just mechanically chanting kirtanas, mechanically chanting shlokas, Om. So we need to go dive deep into that. So we are doing Gita Vahini. Here also I want to say the significance we talked about. We are all blessed to have discussion on the Bhagavad Gita. For all the Gitas, this is only called Bhagavad Gita. There are other things, Ashtavakra Gita, Avadhuta Gita, Vasishta Gita, Rubhu Gita, many Gitas, because this is only by Bhagavan's words. And the chapter, every end of the chapter, what does it say? Sri Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. So every end of each chapter 18, it says Bhagavad Gita is an Upanishad by itself. Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad. There are many Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita by itself is like an Upanishad. And it is a Brahma Vidya. So it is the one which teaches the knowledge of Brahman. And it's also Yoga Shastra. So to how to control the mind, how to control the senses. So we should take it very seriously. We are so blessed. Is every chapter. And he says, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishad. So this is Upanishad. It is Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. So we should have with that austerity and with the seriousness we should study. And also I told, studying the, I want to read few lines what Lord Krishna himself said about Bhagavad Gita. All of you are listening. In chapter 18, you go and see in Shloka 70, we think we do so many kinds of yajnas, right? Chandi yajna, Rudra yajna, Dravya yajna, charity, service. But this is the powerful yajna. It says, Jnana yajnena tanama shishtati swamiti me mati. My opinion, God is telling my opinion is, whoever is studying this Gita, you are doing Jnana Yajna. All of us right now are doing Jnana Yajna. Of all these, there are so many yajnas, that Japa Yajna, Dravya Yajna, Bhota Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Rishi Yajna, Deva Yajna. But this Jnana Yajna is the very powerful yajna. So he says, Jnana Yajnena Tena Aham. So this is my opinion. Whoever discusses about Bhagavad Gita, you are doing Jnana Yajna. Another important, he says, Sloka 71, Shraddhavan anasuyascha shrunuyadapi yo naraha toapi mukta shubhan lokan prapnu yat punya karanam. Whoever listens to that, if you know it good, you're a scholar, you know this good. But even if you don't know, just you listen with faith, Shraddhaya anasuyascha, without any critical view or without any jealousy. So jealousy is, Swami says, greatest evil. Like God is omnipresent, jealousy is omnipresent. Even it happens in the people, in the great sages like Vishwamitra, Vasishtha, what happened, even in some of the spiritual organizations, the senior leaders fight. So this is because of that jealousy and envy. So without jealousy and with faith, Shunuyadapi, just you listen, what will happen? So yapi mukta shohan, all your sins will be gone, and lokan punya lokan, so you will get the same merit, whatever greatest merit, say meritorious deeds you do, service activities, giving charity and doing japa is equivalent to that. You will go to those lokas. Ultimately, with you do it, you will even get liberation. So I wanted to know how powerful it is. Whenever we are doing discussion Gita, it is a jnana yajna. And whoever does listen, if you talk about it, no, it's much better. But even just you listen with faith and without jealousy, you will go punya lokan praptiyate and all our sins will be gone. So that is the power of this Gita. Then, coming back to where we are going to start today, we are going to do chapter 14. And your soft copy is page 65 and hard copy is page 132. Right? So
Yes.
your page is 132. Yes. So here, as Swami beautifully is talking, going chapter by chapter. So last time we did Jnana Vijnana Yoga, now Akshara Parabrahma Yoga. Because here the question was, Lord Krishna said, if you want to merge in me, you should be living in Brahman. You should know what is karma, what is adhyatmika, what is adibhautika, what is adidhaivika, and adiyajna, and how to leave the body. He put. So Arjuna just didn't listen like anybody else. He's a good student. He's a very good. So he said, I want to know what is that you are just saying those words. What does it mean? So then Lord Krishna was kind enough. He's a Jagat Guru. He's a world teacher. So he explains to him. So we started that. So one by one, these are 7 questions and 7 answers. But in actually original Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, in 3 shlokas, he talks about what is Brahman, what is karma, what is adhyatmika, what is adibhautika, what is adidaivika and adiyajna, and how to leave the body. But here Swami beautifully explains one by one in very detail what is Brahman. Because the whole purpose of life is we are born so that we are not born again. So we die so that we don't want to die again. That is the purpose. So that means we don't want to repeat the cycle of birth and death. The whole thing is punarapi jananam, punarapi mari. We always go on repeating the cycle of birth. Last time we were talking about, right? When we are born, we cry and everybody celebrates our birthday. Happy family and friends. But when we die, we should die smiling with a laughing face And the other people should cry, oh my God, such a noble soul who has done such a good to the society he has left. That is why another Swami said, when you are born, you cry, Koham, Koham, who am I? Who am I? When you die, Soham, Soham, I am that, I am that. For that, you can't overnight do it. That is what Lord Krishna says here. You need to lead a spiritual life. That's why this whole chapter is so powerful. He talks about Omkar, how it is Brahman, and how by chanting Om at the time of your leaving the body, you will become one with God, with Lord Krishna. So that is the whole theme. And last week, we talked about Brahman, right? Brahman has three aspects. Brahman is Satchidananda, also called Asti Bhati Priyam, also called knowledge, existence, and bliss. And everything he went on. First is Sat. What is Sat? The knowledge, because Sat is existence. So how we always think we are existence, because we are eternal, but we confuse with this body. Atma is eternal, body, mind, intellect is not. So that is what it is. Next is the Satchit, awareness. We always want to have more and more knowledge. Everybody says, oh, what more, what more? And third is Ananda, because everybody wants happiness. We talked about including little insects, birds, bees. Everything we do in life is for sake of happiness. But unfortunately, the happiness is such outside. And all the scriptures and masters say happiness is not outside. So it is all like a mirage. So pleasure, that is what we get in outside. Pleasure is interval between two pains. But real happiness is, it is union with God. And we said how much compared to Manushyananda is 10 to the power of 18. That is quintillion times. I go on saying it is, I know it's not a common word used, quintillion times. So it is the first is million. So 100 million is the billion. It is not the 1,000 million is the trillion. Then becomes the quadrillion. And highest is the quintillion, 10 to the power of 18. That much happiness, it is something. That is why Taittiriya Upanishad says, Yato vacha nivartante aprapya manasasaha. Aprapya manasasaha. It can't be comprehended by the mind, because everything is in the realm of mind for us, and cannot be expressed in words. So something to be expressed, like Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa said, is beautifully, like somebody eats a very delicious mango, I like mango, Alphonse, something, but he's so happy, but he's a dumb guy, he cannot speak, he just cannot, what can he do? He just goes on, just so, but he cannot talk. Similarly, this Brahmananda is something which you experience, you cannot talk. It is that's why all these sages, saints are so much bliss, because they experience, they cannot express in words. That is why it's called Yato Vacho Nivartante Aprapya Manasasaha. Cannot be comprehended by the mind, it can be expressed in the words. That is the thing you were talking about, Ananda, because we are Ananda Swarupa, but we forgot. That's why Swami, whenever in discourses, he never addressed as Bhaktulara. He never did that. He said, Divya Atma Swarup Lara. We are embodiments of divine Atma, or your Ananda Swarup Lara. We are embodiments of divine bliss, or Prema Swarup Lara. You are embodiments of divine love. That is what we are really. We are divine Atma, divine love, or the divine bliss. So that is what we need to get to that. Then from there, we should take, then he goes to what is Adhyatma. So here, did we talk, here he talk about Adhyatma, very simple. Swami made it simple. Adhyatma is explained in the Mahavakya of one of the Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat is Brahman. Tvam is Jivatma. Asi means you are that. So you are that what? Tat, you are Brahman. Tvam, this body. Because we are confusing our self with the body, mind, intellect. So we should transcend that and identify our true reality, which is Brahman. So that is the whole thing he explains. Brahman is Satchidananda, Asti Bhati Priyam, something which is eternal, which doesn't change. So that is where we ended last week on page 132. Then we'll continue and then we'll explain the other thing. Please proceed.
Sairam. Also in the context of, since you just said the Gnana Yajna, even this chapter starts with the first sentence, Nahi Gnanena Sadarsam. Sadarsam. There's nothing is equal to Gnana. So Swami starts with that.
That's why also he says Sarvam Jnanam Parisapti. All the yogas, whether Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, everything merges in that. There is nothing equals Najnane Sadusham, Sarvam Jnanam Parisapti. Everything goes and ends in. That is why Jnana Devatu Kaivalyam. Another thing, it says scriptures, you can attain moksha only through Jnana. Jnana Evatu Kaivalyam. And actually Lord Krishna said, last time we said, Jnanitva Atma me matam. I am Jnani. There is no difference. If you are a Jnani and God, there is no difference. They are one with God. When you see a real Jnani, you should worship them just like you worship God. Good. Please proceed.
This is not the entire point. There is something else, something more. Let us take another example from experience. When some friend or kinsman of yours is happy and affluent, no one takes the trouble to inquire from him why he's so happy. They ignore him and do not harry him with questions regarding himself. But when grief strikes him, he's unhappy, you start worrying him and yourself. Why? Happiness is natural. It is to be expected. It is nothing surprising, for it is the nature of the Atma, which everyone is. That is why one is craving for constant happiness, ananda. The above three, Sat Chit Ananda, we see is every being as very core of its very existence, as its reality itself. So it is the Lord Himself who has assumed the Jiva pose and placed an individual to that role. It is this inner meaning that Krishna elaborated upon so that the relationship of Brahman and Adhyatmam, that is to say, the identity of both with him, could be understood by Arjuna. Then Arjuna prayed that the third subject, karma, may be fully explained to him. Krishna was quite ready to oblige him. He began, Arjuna, the limitation that is necessary for the creation, fostering and destruction of beings is what is called karma. The movable and immovable all are beings. Why? The very act of the very resolution of creation is karma. The very first, which still activates all everywhere, this entire universe and all the moments of agitations and activities in it are the direct consequences of primal karma. My sankalpa, divine will, and as long as my resolution lasts, the stream of karma will flow along. It can never go dry so long as I do not will it. All that you do is to get drawn into this flood. Why you're but currents in this rush, or ripples, or waves. My will has prompted all karma, and so karma done in consonance with my will and becomes part of me. That is so beautiful. I know we just talked about Sat Chit Ananda. And here, one more time, Brahman and Adhyatmam. Brahman is Tat, Adhyatmam is Tvam, Tattvamasi. One more time is reinforced here, which is from the Chandogya Upanishad. And it's a karma. I know before I talk about karma, I wanted to really mention, maybe, I know next week is Swami Chidananda is visiting our center, but for following week, I was thinking, karma, our January Eternal Companion, has the karma so beautifully about the karma we use so loosely. There is such a powerful meaning, the types of karma, the consequences, how we do it. I think if we understand that, I think every action is going to be meaningful. Here, in a bigger sense, karma, here Swami is talking about in the sense of creation, not just the action day to day, our actions, but the creation itself. That Brahman, along with that Maya, that consciousness, how that creates the universe and sustains it and resolves it. That's all karma. Even the ones that here he says movable or immovable, those are all part of universe. And also, I think what I was really thinking about was, if this is all God's creation, this universe, so I'm part in that universe. So that's so really a powerful statement. So I'm also part of that piece of God, right? I know we wouldn't say it, but this is a whole creation. I'm not out of creation. I'm in the creation. And so that's the primal karma that is explained so beautifully here. Yeah.
Here, before that karma, Swami talked about Adhyatma. Let it be made clear. So Brahman, he comes in the human Tat. Brahman came in the form of all of us, each being as Jivatma, Adhyat. That is Adhyatma. In general, three things we think about. Prakriti is separate, that all the elements, mountains, rivers, trees, everything is separate. I am separate, and God is separate. That is a whole delusion. In the beginning, we think God is separate, nature, Prakriti is separate, and then individual. Then the whole practice is what Lord says, there is mattah parataram nasti kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam prodam sutremani ganaiva. Everything, every atom, every cell, every moment of the whole creation is pervaded by God. There's nothing but God exists. We think different. That is why Adi Shankara said, in shlokarthena pravachyami yadartham grandha kotibhi. In half a shloka I will tell, Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaina Para. Jiva, we think are not, we are Brahman. That is what Adhyatma is. We are nothing but Brahman. But we don't, all the spiritual practices is, first you see God is separate, nature of the world is separate, I is separate. Finally you realize there is nothing but God. That's why important is the whole Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnan Brahma. All these points out, we are Brahman. That is the Vedic mantras. That is the highest. That is why they are called not Vakyas, Mahavakyas, greatest declaration. So, but there should not be just a theoretical. You need to be a question of experience. That is what he was telling. But for that, this karma is very important. This karma works at two levels. One is cosmic karma. You think God is there. So he also has to go through, he creates, he sustains, and he dissolves. That is why in Lalita Sahasranam he said, Panchakritya Parayana. Is Sushti, Sthiti, Laya, and Anugraha, Tirodhana. That means God does five things. One is creates, anything is creation, and then sustains. You need to be sustained, and then it dissolves, and then again creates. And for that, the Anugraha and Tirodhana, that means God's grace, and sometimes withdrawn. So he has given his grace. That is why we are all here talking about God. Otherwise, Tirodhana means you will be interested in something else, watching a serial, movie, or soap opera, or going to a thing. The very grace is there. That is why we are able to come. That is the Anugraha. So that is in the cosmic level. But in the individual level, we are all born because of our karma. If we have zero karma, we won't be born, then you are liberated. So a good karma and bad karma both combined balance, then we are born as humans. That is why Lord Krishna says in Gita, Kshine punye matya loka vishanti. Even when you have good karma, you go to heavens. But once that is finished, you come back to the world. So we should behave such a way that we won't be born again. That is the whole secret. Here, there are three kinds of karma everybody should know, and that day will say. One is prarabdha karma, which we already have said, we have started. All of us right now, we are going through pain, suffering, all that is prarabdha karma. Sanchita karma, what we did in our previous lives, we don't know, except avatars or saints will tell you, hey, this is what you did, that is why you had to go through that. And agami karma, which I control, means what we are doing, which gives consequences. So sanchita karma, what we did before, and prarabdha karma, which already prarabdha, that means they already started giving, and third is agami karma. So karma is like a law, like President Law, inexorable. God himself made, even God puts through that. Even when an avatar like Lord Krishna, he came from Rama, he has to show that you have to go through this karma. And even Jesus said, as you sow, you reap. And Swami beautifully says, if you put a neem seed, you can't expect a mango fruit. So what you sow, you do. If you put a neem seed, neem tree. So mango seed, mango tree. So all of us, whatever we go through in life, pain, pleasure, poverty, everything is because of our whatever karma we did. Some is obvious now, some not. There is a nice story I heard that is very nice. So one family, he was a nice family, but they have a child who was born, he was dumb, he can't speak. And they were not, everything they have, that child was there, but he cannot speak. They were so sad, the parents. And so they didn't know what to do. They were not bad in their life. They were doing good job, they are good, do puja, they do charity, everything they are doing, but they are so sad, but their son. Then that time the yogi comes there, they ask, why we have to go through this? This is because of your karma. That boy, in the previous life, he was a great scholar. He used to give the expositions and scriptures, he was Puranas, everything. After a while, ego comes, oh, I'm so great. So he wanted to have so many following. It is okay, then becomes egoistic. And there was another scholar, then came. He was such a Sathvic, noble person. So this guy was jealous about him. So he is talking evil about him. He was spreading rumors about him. So because even though he was doing good job, but the jealousy killed him. That means he was talking negative. So next life, no talking. And then these parents, why they should have a child, their parents in their previous life. So that lady said, you were made fun of, somebody had a dumb child. Instead of being sympathetic, they made fun of them. Hey, see, they have this, that. So it should be empathy instead of that. So even simple thoughts, whatever you have in your previous life, whatever it is, so we should be always ABC, be careful of what you think, what you do. We talked about Ratnamala, right? Bali Chakravarti is a emperor's daughter. So just she had a negative thought that, my God, how can he kill my father, Bali Chakravarti, Vamana? Then next life, she was born as Putana to give poison milk, and she wanted to have him so cute as a mother. So both the even thoughts, they were put effect next uh, life. So she was Putana, acted like a mother, at the same time gave poison. So the lesson for us is, be careful of what you think, not only what you say, and what you do. All these things, now we think only when you hurt somebody physically, some bad thing, theft, murder, there is even bad words. You hurt somebody's feeling something, that will have effect for a long time. So you have to pay for it. Same thing, negative thoughts. You may not say. Some people will be nice and talking, but inside they have very negative thoughts, jealousy, envy, hatred. Even for that, you need to pay for that. So nothing goes unnoticed. Other people may not notice, but God is Sarvadarshi. He sees everything. He can. That is why with Swami we have problem when we go interview with him. Whatever you think, he just tells exactly what you are thinking, what you did. So that is every thought is read. So that means whether anybody knows or not, God knows everything. So we need to good, and then who is the beneficiary? The good thing we do, we benefit. Bad thing to do, we suffer. So anyway, we'll talk about karma probably. And he says in next week Sadananda is coming.
Yeah, so
Okay, so probably after that we can continue, because this is practical. This is a practical lesson. Karma. Everybody, we all have to pay for the karma. So be careful what you do. Yeah.
There is one online uncle. This is from Aravind.
Hmm.
When everything is God's Leela, creation, sustenance, and destruction, and the so-called bad things are all karma unfolding. What is the need for compassion and service? Isn't it people's karma that they suffer?
Yeah, that is the kind of a careless. Actually, ultimately, it is true. Everybody, what they go through, like even Swami says, at the time the Iran crisis came, that Bush did. I don't follow politics. He said the America is going to go through this karma, because national karma, because of what they did. So karma is national level, regional level, family level, and individual level. So you pay for it, but as an individual, like Ukraine, yeah, that is their karma there. But we did, they help the refugee there, we help them. So whenever somebody is in suffering, our duty is do that, our transformation for our good, so that we feel happy. It cleans our heart. Chittasya shuddhaye karmana. Whenever you do good deed, it purifies our heart. So it is not for them, because God in a trice like that, He can wipe out all the poverty. He can wipe out all the suffering. He gives us opportunity in this situation, so that we can improve ourselves for our own transformation and good. That is why Lord Krishna, one of the famous, I love that most. Atma upanyena sarvatra samam pashyati Arjuna sukham va yadiva dukkham sayogi paramomata. In my opinion, Lord Krishna says, he is the greatest yogi who thinks others' pain, suffering, and pleasure and happiness. Sometimes people think others' pain and suffering, they want help. But others happy, they don't like that, they feel jealous, and that is also bad. Both good or bad, or others people, you should feel as if it is own. He says he is the greatest yogi. He didn't say he is the yogi who does 10 hours japa or meditation. So it is good to do all that, but he says, who thinks that yogi paramo mataha. So in answer to that, in the world purpose is, Lord Krishna says, anityam asukam. That is what Buddha is going to tell. See, probably they are going to talk about. Buddha Purnima is coming. That is the message of Buddha. It is, you know, that is thrice blessed day. Why? This is the day Lord Buddha was born. This is Vaishaka Purnima, by the way, on 12th of this month. It is not today. We are celebrating for convenience today and then on Saturday. But really it is Monday, 12th. Is it Vaishaka Purnima? That is the day he was born in Lumbini, Nepal. And that is the day he was enlightened in Bodh Gaya, where Nirvana. And that is, then he attained Parinirvana in Kushinara. So that is why this is a thrice blessed day. But there are wonderful teachings of Lord Buddha. That is what he said. This world is that is the way it is going to be, and it is temporary suffering. Even Lord Krishna said, Anityam Asukham. That is a part of it. But how can we live in bliss? Is by doing good deeds to help the thing.